श्री प्रभु रामचंद्र की। मनुआ बोलो राधे राधे, राधे राधे श्याम नाम। मनुआ बोलो राधे राधे, राधे राधे श्याम नाम। राम 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 बोलो राम सीता राम। हे राम 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 बोलो राम सीता राम। तो मनुआ बोलो राधे राधे, राधे राधे श्याम नाम। हे मनुआ बोलो राधे राधे,
राधे राधे श्याम नाम।
श्याम 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 बोलो श्याम राधे श्याम। हे श्याम 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 बोलो श्याम
राधे श्याम।
मनुआ बोलो राधे राधे, राधे राधे श्याम नाम। जय मनुआ बोलो
राधे राधे, राधे राधे श्याम नाम।
रंगा रंगा बोलो पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
रंगा रंगा बोलो पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
हे रंगा 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 बोलो, रंगा 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 बोलो पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम। रंगा रंगा
रंगा बोलो पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
जय पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम। हे
पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
पूर्ण कामानंद धाम बोलो जय जय सीताराम।
पूर्ण रामानंद राम बोलो जय जय सीताराम।
सीताराम राधे श्याम बोलो सब मिल सीताराम। सीताराम
राधे श्याम बोलो सब मिल सीताराम।
मनुआ बोलो राधे राधे, राधे राधे श्याम नाम। बोलो
मनुआ बोलो श्याम, बोलो श्याम राधे श्याम।
हे राम 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 बोलो राम सीताराम। हे
राम 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 बोलो राम सीताराम।
हे मनुआ बोलो राधे राधे, राधे राधे सीताराम। मनुआ बोलो
राधे राधे, राधे राधे सीताराम।
रंगा 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 बोलो पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
रंगा रंगा बोलो पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
हे रंगा 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 बोलो, रंगा 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 बोलो पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
रंगा 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 बोलो पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
ओ पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
जय पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
पांडुरंगा कृष्ण नाम।
पूर्ण कामानंद धाम बोलो जय जय सीताराम।
पूर्ण कामानंद राम बोलो जय जय सीताराम।
तो सीताराम राधे श्याम बोलो सब मिल सीताराम। सीताराम राधे जय मनुआ बोलो
राधे 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 श्याम नाम
राधे राधे श्याम नाम
राधे राधे श्याम नाम
तो सीते सीते सीताराम
सीते सीते सीताराम
हाँ सीते सीते सीताराम सीते सीते
सीताराम
मन्मकेश्वर 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 पाहि मां
मन्मकेश्वर 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 पाहि मां
चंद्रशेखर 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 रक्ष मां
चन्द्रशेखर 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 रक्षा मां
मनुआ बोलो राधे 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 श्याम नाम जय
मनुआ बोलो राधे 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 श्याम नाम
राधे राधे श्याम नाम
राधे राधे श्याम नाम
सीते सीते सीताराम
सीते सीते सीताराम
सीते सीते सीताराम
सीते सीते सीताराम
प्रेम से बोले श्री सीतारामचंद्र की devotees. I take a look at society, even our own lives, and there are many things we can all try to do based upon scriptural teachings to make life make sense. And devotees, I read a part of Ramayana where the names of certain individuals were called, like Shabri, Gid, Jatayu, among others. And they all had one thing in common, that despite the adverse circumstances, problems, and troubles in life, as we say, they had faith. Faith in whom? In God. Faith in where? On themselves. In the words of the sages, they never gave up. And it's a timely reminder for all of us that despite all the negativity, and it takes so many forms where you're hearing words that you want to know if you could believe them. You're seeing things you want to know if you can actually trust people. Devotees, these individuals who face these situations and even worse, and yet today we are talking about them. Their names are mentioned in the scriptures, and devotees sing their praises. Shivari, Sudama, Ganika, Gida, Jamil, and so many others. And what they all had, I said, is faith in God and faith in themselves. So we are going to talk about the power of faith in God and the power of faith in oneself. And I start off by giving you an incident. There was a mother who had a son. They were very poor. Things were hard. And despite all of that poverty and adversity, the mother had very good thoughts for her son. She wanted a bright future for him. She wanted to be somebody of whom she can be proud. She wanted him to be educated, famous, of good character. She wanted him to be a lawyer. And at that time, a lawyer like Mahatma Gandhi. Devotees, the boy heard the words of his mother. He loved his mother. He had faith in God and faith in his mother. And so this poor boy began to study very hard. But here where he studied, he had no library, he had no study room, he had no area in that house where he could study. And there was no light in the house. So he would go under the street lamp outside there. He would go on the outside and he would study as long as he could. At times rain fell, he had to run inside. At times it became cold, he had to cover himself with whatever he had. Mosquitoes, insects, noise, he withstood all of that. His focus was on his education, his studies, his books. And devotees, many a time, I'm giving you a real life incident. Many a time, he had no food. He had to study, as we say, on an empty belly. Devotees, the day before the exam, he began to feel sleepy as he was studying under the street light. And being sleepy, some people do, they walk about, some drink coffee, what have you. He was so poor he couldn't afford a cup of coffee. So there was a tap. Long ago he used to have taps on the main road. So he went to that tap and he turned it on. The water was cold. So he threw the water on his face to wake him up because tomorrow is exam. He washed his face with the cold water. And so the next day came, and the whole story short, he had studied well, he passed his exam. He got a work, a job, and he began to work as a lawyer, a junior one. And he always remembered the words of his mother, "Son, it will never be easy, but keep faith. My son, I can tell you, because I brought you up under difficult circumstances. I'm not saying this because I want pity from you, my son. I want understanding. And in the same way I was successful in bringing you up, I want you to be successful in life. Keep the faith in God and believe in yourself." So now he's working. He has no office. He has no vehicle. He has no books. He has no friends. He's overworked. He's underpaid. And he kept remembering the words of his mother. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in God, my son. Make me proud of you. And devotees, he stuck it out. And in time, a positive change took place in his life. And based upon the history of India, he was appointed the first Indian judge of the Madras High Court. Devotees, the power of faith, the power of a son's love and belief, the power of a person who believed in himself. Bole Shri Sita Ramachandra ki. Same thing that Shivadi did. Sutikshan, Sudama, Ganika, Gid. But that's from the historical perspective, scriptural. Here we're getting this way also. And there are many others who have passed through these situations and they were able to move on in life. Devotees, let us glorify Bhagwan Sri Ram. For besides having faith, we need to continue to chant the name of the Lord. We have to perform the action. And in time it all comes to pass. Tere bane jai Govind gun gaye se. Tere bane jai Govind gun gaye se. Govind ध्रुव की बनी प्रहलाद की बनी गई मेरे राम ध्रुव की बनी प्रहलाद की बनी गई, शिवरी की बनी गई, शिवरी की बनी गई, झूठे फल खाई से। बोले श्री प्रभु रामचंद्र की। Devotees. So let's build our faith. Let's deepen our faith. Let's strengthen our faith. God, devotees, without God, how can we live or exist? And the sages mention three interesting things. By whose power do the millions of stars, are the millions of stars held together in one place? How does the earth rotate? How does it rotate? How does the wind blow? And so much more. And here the beautiful statement, it is the unseen that sustains the seen. It is the unseen that sustains the seen. It is the power of God. And they give us a Sanskrit statement. Sarvam Vishnu Mayam Jagat. Sarvam Brahma Mayam Jagat. The universe is permeated by the Lord Vishnu. Everything is Brahma. The divine is present in everything. Everyone, you, me, and all. Our mind is like a parachute. It only functions when it is opened. Therefore, open the mind, open the heart, open your lives, open your homes, and allow the Lord to dwell within. And when He dwells within, worship Him with faith, and you will see the difference it makes in your life. Devotees, there's another incident I will share with you, and then we shall move on. There are many instances of people who had similar faith, and how did they work it out? Some started by polishing shoes, some by selling milk, some by selling newspapers, some by washing dishes, and I'm sure you can add many more. And each of these examples I pointed out, there's an individual or individuals who did these and what they were and what they became, because they had faith in themselves, belief. And they all rose to high positions through faith. And here is another example. A poor boy. He used to make a living by writing the addresses on the covers of the envelopes for people who couldn't read or write. A poor boy earned a living by writing the addresses of people who couldn't read or write, because they wanted to send letters to their loved ones. In addition, it wasn't sufficient. So he didn't call it quits or think anything negative. He also decided there are children in the area, and he called them and he began to give them lessons. You see, when we use what we have for the welfare of others, it doesn't make us any less. It adds to us. It adds value to our lives. When we add value to people's lives, we add more value to our lives. Devotee, I hope I can't make every point, but these are such simple ways for us to think as to where am I heading? What am I doing with my life? How useful is it? Only you could answer that. But here the interesting part. Every time he wrote an address and he gave the person, whoever it was, he would utter the following words. May God bless you. May God bless you. Then he uttered other words. May God shower his grace upon you. May God shower his grace on you. And then he would leave them with this powerful one. Have faith in God. Have faith in God. Such was the sincerity, such was the level of seva or service, such was the belief and faith in God, such was the desire to transform his life as well as the lives of others. Eventually, he became the Prime Minister of the country where the World Cup is taking place. He became the PM of the country where the World Cup is taking place right now. A man who wrote addresses on envelopes for poor people who couldn't read or write, but they want to communicate with their loved ones. And one who saw a need for education. We have said so many a time, education for liberation. If you wish to be liberated, you have to be educated. And so he would also give lessons to these children. And very importantly, the greatest lesson, have faith in God. May God bless you. And from a letter writer, a man who wrote these things, he became the Prime Minister. Devotees, everything is there for you and I in this world. It depends on the thoughts we have, the company we keep, the choices we make, and the extent of our faith. How deep is it? And I remind you again, they were all people who suffered various disabilities, handicaps, adversities. They never gave up. Look at a flooded river. All those in that are dead or inanimate, they flow along with the water. But if there's an animal or a human being going along, they will keep struggling against the current. They keep struggling and struggling until they can reach the bank of the river. In this river of life, our sages are telling us, Ramayana is saying it, they've given the examples, and now there are those who came and they lived those principles. And that's why Rama will live on forever and ever. Oh, I may have heard Shivari Katha or Sutikshan so many other times. Well, here are the other examples of those who live their principles, and principles don't die. That's why our religion is called Sanatan Dharam. It contains principles which are time-proven, time-tested, and which will stand good for all times, all people, all places. Because Sanatan is eternal, the principles are eternal, and the Dharma is eternal. And we also, because we have the Atma in us. So devotees, is there such a thing therefore as failure or dejection? Frustration, yes, it comes, but it's only temporary. Because Tulsidas said the world is made up of pairs of opposites, the union, separation, pain, pleasure, and so on. But the point is, we need to know what we have to hold on to, what we have to give up. Give up that which is detrimental, hold on to that which is developmental. And what is developmental? Faith, Bhagwan, God, and so much more. We glorify the Lord again, as we ask Him in our own humble and simple way, Lord, yes, I'm a human being. You bless me with the greatest gift, the gift of life. Bari bhag manustan pava. I have all that I am supposed to have. I know, Lord, what I really need is to develop that kind of courage, that kind of faith, that kind of belief, that willpower. Bhagwan, and you can put a prayer like this, Lord, you also have everything. The only thing you don't have is my love until I give it to you. I'm giving it to you today. And all I ask in return for all that you have blessed me with is that I should develop my faith, intensify my devotion. And Lord, when these situations come, let me understand that they are temporary. Just that today will go and tomorrow will come. So to these moments, but Bhagwan, you have always been there. I hold on to your feet. I hold on to my faith. I hold on to my belief. I bow to you. I seek your blessings, guidance, help, and protection. Shower your grace and mercy upon me, my home, and my family, O Lord. This I ask of you, devotees. We join in prayer. दया करो हे राम राम, क्षमा करो हे राम राम, रक्षा करो हे राम, हे राम, हे दया करो हे राम राम, दया करो हे राम राम, क्षमा करो हे राम राम, रक्षा करो हे राम राम, कृपा करो क्षमा करो हे राम राम। अलख निरंजन भव भय अलख निरंजन भव भय भांजन, दया करो हे राम राम, रक्षा करो हे राम राम, क्षमा करो कृपा करो हे राम राम, दया करो हे राम राम। अलख निरंजन भव भय भांजन, behind everything that is seen, there is unseen. The unseen, which is you, O Lord. Alak niranjan bhav bhai bhanjan. Alak niranjan bhav bhai अलख निरंजन भव भय भांजन, दया करो हे राम राम, रक्षा करो हे राम राम, क्षमा करो हे राम, हे राम, हे राम, दया करो हे राम। प्रेम से बोले श्री प्रभु रामचंद्र की। So devotees, this is what I wish to share with you. How important it is to keep the faith. We have said it in so many different ways. A tree without roots cannot blossom, cannot bear. A man without his faith, like a well without water, a forehead without chandan, a flower without scent, a song without meaning, devotion without love. So powerful are these simple statements. And it's for you and I to bear this in mind. And I will leave you with this. Intensify our faith. Deepen that faith. Build and strengthen that faith in the Lord. You can compromise with anything otherwise. But in times of distress and difficulty, it is our faith that will take us through. Our faith that will save us. All faith will be there for us. And if I don't have faith in the Lord who gave me the gift of life, then what will I have faith in? Devotees, another sage puts it very beautifully. He says, if you get given a medication and it cures your ailment, what is it that really cure the ailment? The doctor, the needle, the tablet? What is it? He gives another example. He says, the sun shines. The farmer plants the tree or the water crop. It grows. It provides nourishment for us, whatever crop it is. What is it that nourishes us? The plant, the earth, the water, the sun? It is the energy of the Lord. Milk, you drink milk, it brings good health. What is it that created that good health in us? Is it the whiteness of the milk? Is it the type of cow? Is it the farmer? It is that which we don't see, we don't know. But without which it doesn't exist, and that is dharma, sanatan dharam. The luminosity of the light, the whiteness of the milk, and so too the dharma in sanatan dharam. Devotees, I'm just trying to make it simple in various ways. That there's always that unseen hand of the Lord. It might be unseen to those of us whose third eye is not open. But it doesn't mean it's not there. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So devotees, continue to have faith in the Lord. Bole Shri Sita Ramachandra Ki. Let's spend a few moments glorifying Him once again. For devotees, this is one way in which we develop faith. Shivari would always chant His name. Sutikshan, Sudama, Ganika, Gira, Jamil, and so many others. There was this Guruji who was there with his godson. And they were having a conversation. And here the conversation went. Master Guruji, God has given man 100 years to live. But he seldom lives so long. 25 years are spent in childhood, education, boyhood, play, silly games too. 25 more, marriage, family life, etc., social entanglements, engagements. Another 25 given for looking at property, doing for himself what his parents did for him along the social lines, children, etc. Guruji, if he survives till 75 years, if he survives till that age, he would be filled with sickness and disease and pain. So he had no free time to thank God, to think of God. Therefore, I am suggesting, Guruji, based on my knowledge, but I know you know better, I feel God should give all of us another 25 years more, so we can use those years wholly and solely to think about Him and worship Him. Now, to him that makes sense. Devotees, Guru responded with a very telling statement. He said, son, God has given us this vast house we call planet Earth. But this planet Earth, 3/4 of it is filled with water, the sea. And the other quarter with mountains and desert and lake and forest. So I'm afraid I'll have no place to live. And Guruji began to cry. I have no place to live. And the chela said, Guru, why? Why are you saying that? When billions of us can live on this earth, surely you can secure a place. Then Guruji dried up his chair with a smile and said, son, when so many billions of thoughts flash through the mind in one's lifetime, why can't man find some thoughts to focus upon God? And we all know 40 to 50,000 thoughts pass through the mind. So imagine we live to 75, how many millions of thoughts. Understand what the Guruji is saying to him? You have thoughts, you have time for all thoughts, for all sorts of things. Will you tell him you to have thoughts for God or time for thoughts of God? That doesn't make sense, my son. You need to find the time. Devotees. So let us focus upon the Lord. Our Lord Krishna said, chapter 18, fix your mind on me. Fix your mind on me. I am the all-supporting, all-powerful Lord. Fix your mind on me. How often is that done? And with what concentration, what intensity, what meaning, what emotion, what devotion is it done? Now I'm saying that, but it's also for me, for everybody. I am the almighty, all-pervading, all-powerful Lord, he says. Fix your mind on me, therefore. You are dear to me. Hear what Bhagwan is saying to you and I, devotees? He says we are dear to him. And if somebody is near and dear to us, don't we think of them? Don't we love them? Don't they mean something to us? So you ask now the other way. How near and dear is the Lord to us, to you and I? And how often, how long do we fix our mind upon him? And look at what he has given us, the greatest gift of life. Nobody could have given us life, even though there is cloning. If you take a cell from the person, you clone it, then where's the life force? There is still a life force, and life comes from God. So devotees, we know this song from way back. Gaate chalo man Hare Krishna Rama. Hare gaate chalo man Hare Krishna Rama. Gaate chalo bolo gaate chalo man Hare Krishna Rama. Hare Krishna Rama sada sukha dhama. 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 Gaate chalo man Hare Krishna Rama. Gaate chalo man Hare Krishna Rama. Bolo gaate chalo man Hare Krishna Rama. तन मन में रामा नस नस में रामा. 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 जहाँ देखे वह सीता रामा. जहाँ देखे वह सीता रामा. जहाँ देखे वह सीता रामा. चलो मन हरे कृष्ण रामा. गाते चलो मन हरे कृष्ण रामा. रघुपति राघव राजा रामा. रघुपति राघव राजा रामा. रघुपति राघव राजा रामा. पतित पावन सीता रामा. पतित पावन सीता रामा. हे पतित पावन सीता रामा. पतित पावन सीता रामा. गाते चलो मन हरे कृष्ण रामा. गाते चलो मन हरे कृष्ण रामा. Sukadhama.
Hare Krishna Rama Sada Sukadhama.
Om Hare Krishna Rama Sada Sukadhama.
Hare Krishna Rama Sada Sukadhama.
गाते चलो मन हरे कृष्ण रामा.
गाते चलो मन हरे कृष्ण रामा.
जय राम श्री राम जय जय रामा.
जय राम श्री राम जय जय रामा.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय रामा.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय रामा.
जय राम श्री राम जय जय रामा.
जय राम श्री राम जय जय रामा.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय रामा.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय रामा.
जय राम श्री राम जय जय रामा. श्री राम जय राम जय राम. श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. गाते चलो मन हरे कृष्ण रामा.
आगे चलो मन हरे कृष्ण रामा.
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 बोले श्री सीतारामचंद्र की. Devotees, so if you were listening very carefully, a question must have run through your mind. So I am presently at this age, and from way back in life I've been having, thinking of certain things, want to achieve certain things, and so far it has not come my way. So what should I do? Devotees, you have a choice. Either give up the wish, give up the faith, or hold on to your faith. It's better to hold on to something, to achieve something, than to give it up and walk away and call it quits. Because the Lord knows best. Our knowledge is limited, our understanding is limited, but He is unlimited. Adi Madhyanta Hinaya Nirgunaya Gunatmani. And there are many who have desires, who have certain dreams, aspirations, hopes. They want to see betterment, they want to see transformation. It's not coming, it's not happening. But if something is not happening in this aspect of your life, is it every aspect of life? Think again, devotees. And I'm telling you, it's better to hold on to God. He's the only reality. He's the only truth. Anything else, you can make a mistake. May not happen that way. I can only say it. It's up to you to believe it, up to you to practice it. And then look at it from another perspective. I don't know the past. I don't even know the future. I know what I'm feeling now, experiencing now. But the thing is, I have to believe in something and hold on to something, and I'm holding to the word of the scriptures. And my religion is Sanatan Dharam. I said again, I'm repeating it. The sages and the words and the scriptures are truthful, and therefore what is written will come to pass. It's a matter of time. So if I'm looking for something not coming, maybe it's not the time yet. I can't say. I'm not God. I'm just suggesting certain things. Maybe it's not the time yet. But so what should I do? Do nothing and wait until that time to come? There are two kinds of people, those who make things happen and those who sit and wait for things to happen. If you sit and wait for something to happen, it may never happen. It will not happen. So again, the scriptures say, have faith in the Lord. Hold on to that faith and belief. Continue doing what you're doing. And then, who knows? What happened in the past, we don't know. Who knows what will happen in the future, we don't know either. But Hinduism says time is cyclical. So if what I want is not going to happen now or in this time or in this life, yet I am building the way and the foundation, and I'm ensuring that it happens at some future point in time. I can't say next life or next 10 lives. How do I know that? I can't say that. But I'm doing what is expected of me. And how can I go wrong by practicing what my religion says? Satyam, Saucham, Dayadan. I can't go wrong. Because my Lord is Satya. Satya Sanatan Dharam. So devotees, faith. I recommend once again, and when I say I'm simply echoing the words of the sages and sages, the words of Tulsi Das, and we all know what his life was like. We know what the other individuals, their lives were like. Prahalad, what his life was like. Dhruv, Sudama, and so on. So devotees, having come, I hope you will leave with this in your mind. And whenever you say something or do something, start using this positive affirmation. And affirmations are a powerful part of transformation. When it's so easy for negative thoughts to enter the mind, if instead you utter positive thoughts, eventually it does something to your personality. And some of that time I'll tell you your magnetism of the human personality. Why when somebody, like what Pitaji say, go, all will be well. When you go, it happen, it's gone. Why when somebody who had that spiritual power, they put their hand over your head and they pray, headache goes. It goes. Why when you're asked to touch your feet of the Guruji or the Murti, because they're charged with magnetism, that energy from spirituality. So it's a whole field by itself for another time. But have the faith and develop that energy, that spirituality, and devotee's transformation will come. Bole Shri Sita Ramachandra ki.